welcome to our Wednesday Zoom. Hope you're staying warm. It'll warm you right up. We'll start with some shoulder rolls forward. Make sure the shoulder goes up and forward. Good, so getting those shoulders nice and warmed up, working on shoulder mobility. And then going backward, making sure your knees are soft, thinking about that core engagement. Going backward, opening up that chest. Always feels good. Excellent. Get that cue going, Dave, when you get a chance. Thank you. All right, let's do some neck rolls, side, front, side. Again, shoulders are down and weighted, knees are soft, abs engaged. Excellent. Should feel like a nice stretch. Slow and controlled. Side, front, side. Great. And let's do some windmill arms. You can modify these if you've got a shoulder that doesn't like to go, doesn't like your arms going super high. You can go lower, but see if you can keep a good pace here, warming you up. Abs nice and engaged, so warming up the shoulders, working the abs as well, keeping the knees soft, getting that heart rate up a little bit. Nice, and then going backwards. And yes, brain work, mind-body connection, working on coordination here. Always start slowly if you're having trouble coordinating, and then pick it right up. Good. Again, you're keeping that core nice and engaged. Knees are soft. Working the arms, working the abs. Getting that heart rate up a little bit. Excellent. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's do a good morning hip hinge stretch. Hinging from the hips, back is nice and flat, pushing those hips back, knees stay soft, feeling that nice hamstring stretch, dropping into a little bit of a squat if you can, and then up on the toes, reaching up. Nice flat back, hamstring stretch, reaching up overhead. Good, and again, shoulders stay down here, chest leading the way, knees are soft,
exercise.
Reaching up over the shoulders, nice. Couple more. Make sure you're getting into a breathing pattern here, and if you can, reaching right up over those shoulders, keeping that overhead range of motion. Nice, up on the toes, one more.
Set 2.
Dropping the hips. Excellent. All right, we're gonna do a little, call these TikToks for lack of a better word. You're gonna raise one leg up, swinging the arms to the other side, so warming up that hip and glute. Working on a little bit of balance. And yes, coordinate once again. Arms are nice and loose. Good. We're going to do a lot of balance today. I always like to work on balance. It's so important. Fall prevention is a goal for most of us, not all of us. As we get older, that becomes more challenging to navigate. Excellent. All right, we're going to do a little booty kick, row, palms facing down for now. Shoulders down, chest open on this. On that booty kick, the knee stays right underneath the hip.
Begin set 3.
So you get a nice hamstring activation. Modifying as needed if you've got a knee where the heel can't go high, that's okay. But you should feel those hamstrings activated on that kick as you dynamically stretch the quads, and we're opening up that chest. Always like to do that. Nice and tall through the chest. Abs are engaged. Excellent. Woo! Warming up. Nice. And balancing too. Did you notice that? One leg to the other.
Stop.
Great. And we're going to go into a squat, hips back, and then opening up the chest with a Y and a T. Now, if the Y doesn't work for your shoulder, feel free to go just into that T motion, okay? Hips back on the squat. Here's your Y, here's your T.
4.
From the side, my hips are back. Opening up the chest, a little push back. Again, you can keep it down here, keep it low if you've got a shoulder that doesn't like your arms going high. Excellent. Woo! Nice. Activating quads, hammies, and glutes. We are going to start with a bench squat or chair squat today. Functional movement, we all need to do this. We all sit down every day. Important to learn how to do it properly, tapping into quads, hammies, and glutes, not letting the knees
Stop
move forward.
exercise and switch to the next
If the
position.
bench or chair squat does not work for you, feel free to, if you need more support, you can hold on to either a table at home and do this, or a kitchen counter, and that should do it. And if the squat's not working at all, you can always do a seated leg lift, okay? Either this way or up and down, okay? But going with the chair squat, again, functional movement. If you can, you're gonna push those hips back, touch down, and come up, squeeze that booty, okay? Hips back, squeeze that booty, good. Now notice my chest is up for the most part. And this is a flexibility issue. If you can't keep the chest up, sometimes it's just due to lack of flexibility.
Exercise.
But you wanna try, look straight ahead, keep that chest up, okay? All right, so feet about hip width apart here, okay? And notice my arms are going out as my hips go back. That kind of is a good way to counterbalance the hips. Again, if you need some more support, putting a chair next to a table or a counter, holding on as you're doing this, perfectly fine. If you need to actually sit down, take a little break before you come up, perfectly fine too. The main thing here is to make sure that the motion, primary motion, is hips going back and not knees going forward, okay? Because that'll put stress on your knees. All right. Squeezing the glutes up top. Touch down. Squeezing the glutes up top. Good. All right. How are you feeling those quads? Quads, hammies, and booty. All right. Thinking about that core engagement. You can shake those legs out on the break if you like. All right. Resetting, shoulders down, chest open. Again, you're looking straight ahead. Holding on if you need to. Hips down. Boom. Squeeze those glutes. Nice. Keeping that chest up, looking straight ahead if you can. Again, if you need to hold on for support, no problem. If you need to sit down briefly, no problem. Just focusing on the motion of hips back and then pushing through both feet, squeezing the glutes up top. Nice, ladies. Squeeze. Good.
Stop. Exercise.
All right, we have one final set. If you want to up the ante here a little bit, if you're not feeling terribly challenged, you can do some pulsing here. And I'll show you what that looks like, okay? Lots of ways to do this, but I'm just going to add a couple pulses without touching down to make it a little more challenging. 3, 2, 1, push through both feet, squeeze those glutes, okay? So you can add a pulse. I'm going to do in 4 or 5 here. So as many as you'd like, or continue with no pulse if it's too much. Again, I'm all about form here. So if you start pulsing and the knees are coming forward, I want you to throw it out. I'm more concerned with you keeping really good form, knees over second and third toes, butt going back, chest up. Nice. Squeeze those glutes.
Exercise. Switch to the next.
All right, we're going to go to a bent over row today with a weight. So if you have a heavy weight, this is a strong muscle group, upper back. So I'm going to put my left leg in front of my right. And the motion is to make sure the shoulders are square.
Begin set 1.
Pulling in sort of at a diagonal right into that rib cage. Good. Now notice again my chest is up. I'm not here, okay? Chest is up. Think about a fairly straight line between your back leg and your torso all the way up. My elbow is in, okay? So if you look from here, elbow's in. It's not out here, okay? So focusing on that upper back, postural muscles, head and neck in that neutral position.
Stop.
Exercise. There's your exhale. Now, I'm assuming that most of you probably don't have really heavy weights at home, so we're going to do 2 on one side. If you've got a sensitive shoulder or you happen to have heavy weights and you want to switch it up, feel free. But I'm going to stay on the right side with my left leg in front, shoulders down, chest open. Here we go. Pulling right into that rib cage, slowly lowering with control. Good. Again, that elbow stays in. Chest is up, shoulders are down. There's your exhale. Slowly lower. You can also have 2 little weights. If you've got 2 little weights at home and you're able to hold both in one hand, If you need more weight, it's another way to do it. But you can also grab anything you have around the house that works, household item. Doesn't have to be a weight, okay? It could be something out of your kitchen, out of your pantry. All right, so we're switching sides. This time my right leg is in front. Abs engaged, shoulders down, chest open. Here we go. Left arm, working arm. Thinking about, again, focusing on that upper back, postural muscles, working the shoulder as well, and biceps here. A little bit of biceps. We're going to get those again later, though. Good. Great. So last week, I think we did these over the bench. It's called the bent over row. This is somewhere in between. Lots of ways to do a row. Band row we've done. Just mixing it up a little bit, but I love the row because it works, again, the postural muscles, upper back. Really important to keep those muscles nice and strong so that we don't end up here, okay? We tend to be overworked on the front side of our body, quads and chest, and we need to really focus on keeping balance by working that back side, okay? All right, here we go. Upper back, left arm again, slowly lowering. There's your exhale, keeping that elbow in. Chest is up, shoulders are down. There's your exhale. Exhaling on the exertion. Good work, ladies. Slowly lowering with control. Nice. Slowly lowering. Excellent.
Stop exercise and switch to the next station.
All right, we're going to do a little balance core exercise next. I told you we'd be doing some balance and lots of core as well. I'm going to grab a weight for this. The weight is optional. You're going to put one foot in front of the other. Now, if you're challenged putting one foot right directly in front of the other, space it out a little bit if you need to, okay? But if you're able to have them touching, that's the most challenging position. Knees are soft, equally weighted. Arms are in front. We're going to do just a little circle with or without a weight, keeping the core nice and tight. Good. So weight optional, but you want to really focus on core engagement. Knees are soft, balancing, one foot in front of the other, focusing on a fixed object in front of you. So
stop exercise.
Pick something in front of you, whether it be a piece of furniture or a tree if you're looking outside, something that's not moving, okay? Knees soft, we're switching feet now. Knees soft, abs engaged, keeping that core engagement, small weight here, circling in front.
Set 2.
Now if your shoulders are good, you can make this a nice big circle, okay? If you have a sensitive shoulder, make it a little smaller, okay? But everybody should be engaging the abs on this. Nice. And the circle of the arms serves two functions. Not only are we working the core and a little bit of arms, but we are challenging the balance, as most of you should be able to feel with that circle, okay? The bigger the circle, the more challenging it is.
Stop exercise.
Take a break, relax. Good. Now, if some of you are feeling like, oh, I'm really, really solid today, and this isn't really challenging my balance, you can lift a leg in front, okay? See if I can do that. Okay,
again,
so here we are, doing a circle. And if it gets to be too much or you need a break, just bring it down for a moment, okay? And leg up. Again, that's only if, as you can see, it's not easy. There you go. Only if you're needing more of a challenge. For most of you, I imagine 2 feet down, one in front of the other is going to be challenging enough. But just in case, I want to give you another option, more advanced option. Really good. Abs stay nice and tight, switching it up, really good. Other leg is in front. Again, with the one foot in front of the other, the tendency is to put the weight on the back foot, and I want you to be equally weighted. And that's going to challenge your balance the most, okay? All right, last set here, shoulders down.
Begin set 4.
Go ahead and doing our circle. Option to lift that leg. Only if you're feeling like you want more of a balance challenge. Core stays engaged no matter what. Woo! Great job, ladies. Balance and core focusing. Excellent. Nice work. Putting that leg down if you need to. Almost there.
Stop exercise.
Well
and switch
done.
to the next station.
All right, we are going to try a side lunge today. Now, if you cannot do a side lunge, don't worry. We have a couple of options. Classic side lunge is stepping out to the side, pushing the hips back, and coming back. If you cannot do that, you can stay here in sort of a side lunge position, sort of like the stretch we do, and just go out to the side, pushing the hips back, making sure that knee never goes beyond the foot, okay? So this is modification number 1. We're going to throw in an arm curl, okay? If that doesn't work, you can do a standing leg lift and touch down, okay? Side lunge looks like this. We're going to arm curl to center, pushing the hips back, and either touching down here or more advanced
Stop
balance,
exercise.
okay? So a lot of options again. Modification number 1, you're keeping both foot down and just leaning to one side, pushing the hips back, feeling that nice inner thigh, arm curl option. Modification number 2, just a leg lift, arm curl option, okay? I'm gonna lunge this way, pushing the hips back, going to a curl, either keeping my left foot on the ground or lifting it up. Again, more advanced option. So with the side lunge, ladies, your feet should stay parallel. And you are pushing your hips back. Woo! And again, the arm curl is optional. A lot of balance here if you're doing the leg lift. Working the biceps, keeping that chest up. Nice. Hips back.
Stop exercise.
Boom. Again, if you're keeping both feet down, you can push those hips back. Still feel that inner thigh. Okay, just make sure that knee never goes beyond the foot. Still doing an arm curl, okay? Option number 1, option number 2, okay?
Begin
I'm gonna
set
go back
3.
to the right, push the hips back, balance, push the hips back. Nice. I love the side lunge because it opens up the hips. Those are muscles that tend to be shortened throughout the day as we're sitting. And like I said, the modification works as well. You should feel that inner thigh. Woo! Pushing the hips back. Good. Pushing the hips back. Nice.
Stop exercise.
That's 1. Very nice. Make sure that arm curl, your elbow stays pinned to your sides, doesn't come forward, okay? All right, last set here. My feet are parallel. My shoulders are down, my chest is up. I'm stepping out to the side. Curl. Step to curl. Or if you have both feet down, you're leaning to curl. Or leg lift to curl. Great. Push those hips back. Knee never goes beyond the foot on that, whether you're staying down or not. Making sure that knee never goes beyond the foot. Almost there. Push the hips back to curl. Nice.
Stop exercise and switch to the
Good.
next station.
Well done. Okay. I'm going to keep these weights with me. We're going to go to the mat. And we're going to put our band on now. It's going to go over your knees. All right.
Begin set 1.
But we're going to start with some skull crushers, okay? So you're going to grab your weights, hands over the shoulders, shoulders are down, knees bent, abs engaged. You're going to lower the forearms either to either side of your head if your shoulders are good and you want more of a challenge, or if you have a shoulder or neck issue and you want to hold one weight, make sure you hold on to it tightly because it's going to go right over your head, okay?
Stop.
So this is a more stable way to do a skull crusher. Like I said, just make sure you're holding on tightly. If your shoulders are good and you want more of a challenge, You'll do 2 weights to the side of your head, okay? And coming right over. All right, quick break.
Begin set 2.
All right, resetting, abs engaged, head and neck in that neutral position, shoulders down, upper arm stays fixed. As you lower the forearm and extend, make sure, notice how I'm going to parallel each time, so the weights are parallel to the floor at the end of the movement. A lot of times people stop here, okay? So go all the way up, good. And extending, slowly lowering, and extending all the way up, hands stay over the shoulders here.
Stop exercise.
And exhale, good. I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off just so you can see, you might be able to see my arms better here. And that way you'll understand the form. Okay, so hands are over the shoulders, here we go, slowly lower. Again, elbow stays still, upper arm stays still, there's my finished movement. And exhaling as you extend the arm, should be feeling those triceps, back of the arms. Nice, ladies. Slowly lowering with control. Good, so the hard part, lowering here, working against gravity. Exhaling. Well
Stop exercise.
Woo. All right, take a quick break. We have one last set. Now, if your weights aren't too heavy, if you want to go ahead and start the bridges now, you can go ahead and do a bridge with this last set. Keeping tension in the band.
Begin set 4.
So, slowly lowering, and I'm going to raise my hips up as my arms go up. Squeeze that booty, all right? And squeeze that booty. Again, this is more advanced. Only if your weights are not getting heavy. If your weights are getting heavy, this is a small muscle group. Please keep the hips down, and we will focus on the bridges next. All right, slowly lowering. I'm going to add one more bridge, squeezing the glutes.
Stop exercise and switch to the next
All right,
station.
moving on to bridges. We've got our handy dandy band, which I love because it works the outer thighs, outer glute here, glute medius. So we're going to start with tension in the band from the beginning. So feet most likely are going to be 8-10 inches apart depending on your band.
Begin set.
If you don't have a band, don't worry. We're just going to do some bridges, squeezing the glutes, stuck in the tailbone coming up. If you've got that band, you're pushing out just a little bit, feeling the tension in the band and slowly coming down. So if you've got the band, you want to feel like you've got tension in the band the entire time. So as you go down, you've got tension in the band, squeezing the glutes, tucking the tailbone. As you go up, tension in the band, abs tight the whole time, okay? So working that back side, glutes, hammies, again, outer thighs. Now notice my hands,
exercise.
my arms are part way up, okay? If you need more stability, arms can be here. If you want a little bit more instability or core challenge, arms can be here or even up here, which makes it a little bit more unstable, so your core has to stabilize a little bit more. So I'm going to keep my arms up this time. My shoulders are down. I'm going to keep the hips up. So you can continue to go up and down if you want more of a challenge. Your hips are going to stay up. And you're simply going to keep tension in that band and pushing out very small, okay? Again, if you don't have the band, you can do some pulses here, up and down pulses. You can still push out with no band. But if you've got that band, you're keeping tension in the band. You feel that hip and glute? And again, arms up is optional. If you need more stability, you can certainly be here. If your arms are up, make sure your shoulders don't go up with your arms. Again, resetting each time, shoulders are down. All right, we're going to continue with the bridges. If those of you, if some of you would like more of a challenge, I'm going to add a single leg to this. Feel free to stay with the double leg. All right.
Begin set
coming
3.
up. Now, before you add a single leg, if you want to try single leg, you can do some marching here, which is pretty challenging. Let's actually stick with this today. My hips are even because this is a lot of balance. So your tendency is going to be to want to drop that hip, all right? If you're marching, you're keeping nice and firm in that fixed leg, Good. Now this is only if your back feels strong, if you're wanting more of a challenge.
Stop exercise.
You're not dropping those hips, you're keeping them even as you're marching, all right? All right, we're gonna do one more set of those. Again, feel free to stick to both feet down if that works better for you, and doing some pulsing, out and in or up and down. Last set here, I'm gonna continue with that march. Glutes are nice and tight, small leg lift, keeping those hips really still. Excellent. Nice, ladies, well done. Woo! Keeping tension in that band the whole time. Hips stay even, head and neck relaxed, shoulders are down. And you're breathing. Should be feeling those hammies and glutes pretty intensely. And core engagement throughout. Great.
Stop
job.
exercise and
Woo!
switch to the
Okay.
next station.
All right, we're gonna lose our band. We're all finished with that. We're gonna go on to some front planks today. And if you need to be elevated, if you need to be on a chair or a bench or even a counter, that works better for you, feel free to do that. I'm gonna start with a low plank, or plank on my forearms. You could also plank on the ground on your knees if that works better for you. Keeping that knees, hips, and shoulders all stay aligned. If you're on your feet, everything's in a straight line. I'm gonna add a little sawing here just to pass the time, all right? Glutes are tight, abs are pulled in, head and neck in that nice neutral position. Excellent. Whew.
Stop.
Again, if you feel anything in the back or you need a break, you could always come down to the knees and stay in that plank position. All right, on the break, we're gonna go into a little child's pose. Pushing the hips back, sinking into the shoulders, really that nice low back stretch. All right, set
Begin
number
set
two. Hands in front of the elbows. Feet together if you can, and add a little knee drop here, or pedaling. Notice my hips are not dropping here. They're staying in the same place. And this is just, if you want a variation, you can feel free to just hold that plank, keep everything nice and tight. Head and neck neutral with the spine. And abs pulled in, squeezing the glutes. Reaching with those heels behind you. Woo!
Stop exercise.
Nice job, ladies. All right, for those of you who can do a high plank, I'm gonna do a couple of those. If you can't do a high plank, no worries, just stick to the low plank. I'm gonna use some weights because it helps my wrists, okay? So, on the high
Begin
plank,
set 3.
same principles apply, shoulders down, chest open, abs and glutes nice and engaged. I'm gonna add some mountain climbers here, just for fun. Again, if your back is good, if you want something more advanced, otherwise you're just gonna hold that plank, keep everything nice and buttoned up, nice and tight. Woo! Excellent. Keeping that chest open, keeping that head and neck in a neutral position. And breathe.
Stop exercise.
Nice. Coming back into a little child's pose, sinking into the shoulders, feeling that low back stretch. We're gonna do one more. And I'll add a Spider-Man variation for those who would like. Just to keep the fun meter up.
Begin set 4.
Here we go, shoulders down, chest open, knees out to the side this time with the Spider-Man, if you'd like more of a challenge. Otherwise, we are holding this plank, ladies. Finishing strong. This is our final set. Let's make it count. Pushing through. Abs and glutes nice and tight. We got this. Almost there. Woo! Upper body working, abs working.
Stop exercise.
Nice
Your
job.
training is now complete.
Well done, ladies. Fantastic. All right, let's do a little hip flexor stretch here for those of you who would like to join me in a hip flexor stretch on a bench or on the floor. You're going to put one knee up if you've got a bench or a sofa or a bed. Knee over the ankle. Chest is up, shoulders down, okay? This is a great way to Stretch out that psoas muscle in the front hip flexor. Now you can also do the standing version of this with one leg back. If you don't have access to a piece of furniture that's the right height, squeezing that glute, sinking into that hip flexor. I like to also keep that arm up so you're carrying that stretch all the way through that side, okay? So let's switch sides. If you're on the bench or if you're standing, you're gonna switch sides. If you're on the bench or a piece of furniture, make sure that front knee is over the ankle. Make sure you have a slight bend in the leg that's up, shoulders down, chest open. And again, you should feel a nice stretch in that hip flexor as your shoulders are down, chest is open. Great. Excellent. Woo! All right, coming up out of the stretch, shaking those arms out. Quick chest opener here, shoulders down, chest open. And inhaling, exhaling as you raise the arms to the ceiling. Deep breath in. Exhale, raising the arms up. And let's do one more deep breath in. Exhaling, reaching up. Great job, ladies. Thanks so much for joining me.